What's going on, everyone? Today I'll be providing a handful of quick tips that you can use to play better in Chapter 5, Season 4 of Fortnite. Let's get into it. First thing we are going to talk about is the brand new Marvel chests. I like to call these Stark chests. I don't know if that's the official name. These are scattered around the map and drop really good loot. While it's not a guarantee that you get any of the new Marvel items from these chests, you still get really good loot. For example, you can get a gold shotgun and purple Uzis, which is still amazing loot. These chests are not limited to the new POIs on the map, so I would look at where they spawn in my POI and plan accordingly. If your POI doesn't have these chests, maybe start looking into going into a different POI. These chests also have a higher chance at dropping the new Marvel items, and one of these items I think is essential to winning more games. I'm talking about the new Jetpack. The new Jetpack in Season 4 is the most broken mobility to date, and while it doesn't appear to be important at first glance, once you figure out the correct way to use it, you will be dominating gunfights. So what is so special about this Jetpack? It does everything you would expect a normal jetpack to do. You fly into the air, move side to side, all the normal things we've seen before. The true power of this jetpack is in its dash ability. While using the jetpack, you can dash in any direction. Forward, backward, right to left, you get the idea. Why does this matter though? Well, for starters, using this in gunfights makes you much harder to hit. The enemy will have a much harder time following your movement as opposed to just crouch spamming or running side to side. This jetpack also offers an insane movement trick that essentially mimics the skulls you get from being in the green water. While this is a little tricky to figure out, once you do, you will be zooming across the map. So let's go over how to use it. First, let's start just by walking forward. Then you need to jump. And then while you're in the air, press the jump button again to engage the jetpack. My button's spacebar. Next, you need to press the sprint button. On controller, this is typically the left stick. On keyboard and mouse, for me, this is shift. This will give you a boost forward, and after that, you need to disengage the jetpack by crouching. For me, this is control, but for you, it might be different. After you get this button combination down, you gotta try to do it faster and faster until you're zooming around the map like this. It's like having unlimited skulls. I think this season, using the jetpack will provide a unique skill gap where if you refuse to learn how to use it or just cannot figure it out, you will be at a disadvantage. There are also 3 brand new guns added to the loot pool, 2 of which have some unique characteristics. One being the new Monarch pistol and the other the new Sovereign shotgun. Both of these items have a faster fire rate when hip firing and a slower fire rate when aiming down sights. However, the Monarch pistol does more damage when aiming down sights, so it could be very beneficial for you to aim your shots more carefully with this pistol. The Sovereign shotgun, however, does not have this benefit. It just has a much smaller spread when aiming down sights, making it very accurate. The third gun added to the loot pool is the dual Uzis, which have an insane fire rate. These Uzis aren't very accurate from range, but will typically outfire any of the ARs or SMGs in the game. These are a good weapon to have off drop. Lastly, the Striker AR and the Striker Burst AR have made a comeback this season, along with the Combat AR from last season. The Striker AR is the same as it was in Season 1, but the Striker Burst is no longer hit scan like it was in Chapter 3. This is a projectile-based weapon, just like the rest of the guns in Chapter 5. I believe the Striker Burst AR is a must-carry for your loadout. As a gold, it does 35 damage to the body and 52 to the head, with deadly accuracy. Finally, let's talk about the medallions. I don't believe these are as essential to winning the game as they were in last season. The first and the best medallion, in my opinion, is Emma Frost's medallion in the raft. Every minute, this medallion scans the area, marking nearby players. This works similar to the scanner NPCs we've had in prior seasons. The second medallion is in Doomstad, and I think this is the worst, most useless medallion. This is gotten from Mysterio, and his medallion allows you to turn invisible while crouched. I think this is good in certain scenarios, but it messes with you when you're trying to aim. For example, let's say you're in a gunfight and you're aiming at someone far away. You might be crouched down trying to hit a better shot, and the invisibility activates. This takes you out of your aiming animation until you stand back up. You're also marked on the map with this medallion. I think this is just not worth holding. Lastly, it's the third medallion in Castle Doom. You get this from defeating Doombot, and it grants you Siphon. We've had a Siphon medallion in the past. Siphon basically gives you health from enemies you eliminate, and I think this is a good, well-balanced medallion. While the medallions are not necessary to win the game this season, I still think they are good to have, aside from Mysterio's medallion and Doomstock. And that's about all the tips and tricks I have for this season so far. If you have any tips and tricks that are helping you this season, comment down below. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more tips and tricks.